Stephen Howson, Full-Time Devils. This is the transfer review show. You got me on a... Where's my chair gone? Outside Old Trafford, in the wind, in the rain, talking about the ins, the outs, the comings, the goings, everything that's going on in the world of Manchester United transfers this summer. Now, the first in that we've got is the longest running saga, well, this summer at least. Paul Pogba. Is Paul Pogba going to be a Manchester United fan come the end of this summer? I certainly hope so. But here's what all the newspapers are saying. Now, the Mail are claiming that Pogba is telling close friends and family that he's coming to Old Trafford. That's where he's going to be going, and that's where he wants to go. The Independent are saying that sources close to the club reckon that Jose Mourinho is going to get his man by the end of the summer. But on the other side of that, Jamie Jackson reckons that Manchester United are not going to get their man. Real Madrid is the chosen destination of Paul Pogba, and he would rather wait it out than come to United. DiMarzio, who's been a bit of a star this summer, has come out and said that Paul Pogba is wanted by Juventus and he's not going to be moving, and they're more interested in renewing his contract than selling him to Manchester United. Bad news, but we did expect that one to come out at some point, didn't we? So I was going to be bumping this up to about a 7 out of 10 today, but I think the news that Juventus would rather renew his contract, we've gone up from last week, but it's still only a 5 out of 10. Blaise Matuidi, Pogba's teammate in the France squad. Now, this one broke on Monday last week, and there was loads of talk about it, and then it died down really fast. Matuidi is represented by Mino Raiola, and you should all know him by now because Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan, everybody is represented by Mino Raiola. I might even be represented by Mino Raiola. I'm going to have to check my paperwork when I get home. Anyway, so Matuidi is being linked to Manchester United. There was a rumour last week that there was permission allowed for Matuidi to come to Old Trafford to negotiate his contract in the middle of a Euros. It was picked up by loads of outlets, some backing it up and then a couple batting it down again. L'Equipe come out and said that he was actually still at training and it's all a bit of smoke and mirrors. But I think there's always some truth when you get a rumour like this. And I think the truth is that because his agent's Mino Raiola, there probably is some sort of negotiation, and I reckon he's probably our backup to Paul Pogba. So, is this one going to happen? Well, I reckon it's probably slightly more likely than Pogba coming off, isn't it? So I'm giving it 6 out of 10. Now, a nice homegrown name for everybody, and a bit of a different one. Not the clickbait one that you usually see, but this is a name that is constantly linked to move to big clubs. Will Hughes of Derby is linked with Manchester United. They're saying, this is in the Sun, Mourinho wants to boost his homegrown quota. Not really sure that that's the best excuse that the Sun can come up with for why we'd be linked to him. Derby are going to want a right load of cash. Buying English youngsters is expensive, isn't it? So I'm not sure that I believe this one too much, so I'm only going to give it a 4 out of 10. Will Hughes is a cracking player though, so I wouldn't mind it if he did come. That was the ins. Here's the outs. Now, Adnan Januzaj, that's a name that we're constantly getting asked about. What's happening with him? Is he going to be part of the plans? And the truth is, we just don't know. The Sun reckon that Januzaj is going to have showdown talks with Jose Mourinho. Now, that's just the buzzword that they always use in the papers, isn't it? Showdown talks. Like, you can see Januzaj coming in, booting the door off and going, "Oi, Jose, sit down, pin him back. Let's have a chat." I don't think so. Januzaj doesn't strike me as that sort of player. He does strike me as the sort of guy that might whinge and moan if he's not involved in the first team, though. So I can see some sort of discussion going on, but it'll probably be with the agent and the manager rather than direct with a player, I would have thought. Is Januzaj going to go? I think it's entirely possible, because the reason he wasn't played so much last year is that he wasn't able to take to Louis van Gaal's tactical information. Now, Jose Mourinho and Louis van Gaal are from the same school of thought, where defensively it's all about tactics, positioning and the job that you have to play within the team. So if he can't do it for Louis van Gaal, I've got my doubts over whether he can do it under Jose Mourinho. So I'm going to say this is fairly likely. And he's a player that you can see being snapped up by a whole host of different Premier League teams. Someone like Everton, he'd probably go there and absolutely thrive. So I'm going to say 7 out of 10, Januzaj to go. Over the weekend, it emerged on Sky Sports that Tyler Blackett and Guillermo Varela were likely to be sold by Jose Mourinho in this summer window. Now, Tyler Blackett I can kind of understand. He come in, he didn't really take to first team too well, despite being an excellent ball player, really good with the ball at his feet, excellent marking. But the red card against Leicester really knocked his confidence, and he never really regained that in the first team. Went out on loan to Celtic, where he's not been favoured, he's not had a great time whatsoever. So I can see it being really good for his career and for us really to move him on at this stage. Guillermo Varela, on the other hand, I don't understand this whatsoever. We've not got a ton of right backs at the club. Varela's one that's probably the best going forward. He's pretty good defensively, he's still pretty young. Why would you get rid of him? I don't understand this one at all. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's from Sky, so you've got to say it's probably more realistic with done it coming from the Star or the Sun or even the Metro. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 for both. But I reckon at least Tyler will definitely go. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10, unfortunately. That was all the outs. Now we're here for everything where you guys get in the mixer as well. It's my favourite part of the weekend, coming up with some of the best cracking headlines that we've seen. It's Bullshit Bingo! And even when we're playing bullshit bingo, Schneider still gets linked to us. Unbelievable. Anyway, thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to all you guys for getting involved. Bang it in the comments, any of the bullshit headlines that you've seen that you want us to discuss next week. Thank you once again for watching. Please subscribe and we'll see you soon. Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils and this is the Manchester United Euro 2016 review. Now, not the greatest of Euros as a Manchester United fan, to be honest.